Okay, welcome back. Our next segment will be a panel discussion on how is NJDOT creating pathways to sustainability. Panelists, please come up and have a seat. They're already here. We got them all. I will be the moderator for the panel. Each panelist will be introduced and will speak briefly about how their respective unit addresses sustainability in the work they perform. Once they have all addressed sustainability within their area of responsibility, I will ask the panel a series of sustainability questions followed by your questions, time permitting. Right now we're not doing too good on time. Our first panelist to speak is the Director of Construction and Materials, Alex Borofskis. Director Borofskis leads a staff of approximately 700 employees and 200 consultants. His division includes 3 regional construction units, the Bureau of Construction Management and the Bureau of Materials. He oversees a construction program valued at $5 billion with a B and is responsible for 250 projects throughout the state. Let's give a warm welcome to Director Alex Borofskis.
Morning, everyone. Morning. I'd like to, first of all, I'd like to thank Commissioner O'Connor, Deputy Commissioner Bertoni. Thanks to Jim Timon. Great speech, inspiring speech. I have to go after him, which is not really great. I'd also like to thank Chief of Staff Chris Scales, Assistant Commissioner Eric Powers, and Megan Fackler, Amanda Grentek, and Jessica Brown. And as Yogi Berra once said, thank you for making this day necessary for me to speak. Today, I would like to talk about the pathways to sustainability in transportation, focusing on 2 key points: carbon reduction and climate resilience. As civil engineers working within government transportation organizations, we have the responsibility to lead the way towards a sustainable, resilient infrastructure. NJDOT is already making great strides in that area. I'd like to highlight a few initiatives and demonstrate how the sustainability can be integrated within our projects. So carbon reduction is one of the most pressing issues we face in reducing carbon emissions in transportation. New Jersey's transportation is the largest source of greenhouse gas emissions, and NJDOT has been taking steps to address this issue. NJDOT's Transportation Capital Program for 2023 emphasizes investment in low-carbon transportation solutions. NJDOT is working to support the growth of electric vehicles by building the necessary infrastructure. And here are a few examples. We have the National Electric Infrastructure, or NEVI program. The program is directed as an alternative fuel corridor for electric vehicles to build out this national network. Okay, this is going to be primarily along the interstate system. When the national network is fully built out, it'll be funded and may be used on public roads and other locations. And the initiative aligns New Jersey with the goal of having 330,000 EVs on the road by 2025, significantly reducing emissions from gas-powered vehicles. The department's first project will be advertised on October 31st. And the department's project manager, Krishna, who's on our panel today, will speak more about that later in the program. Other programs in New Jersey are Pay It to Plug In program, which is being installed on the Garden State Parkway, as well as the New Jersey Turnpike, and our Complete Streets initiative. The policy is designed to encourage alternate forms of transportation, such as biking, walking. This reduces reliance on personal vehicles, and it turns down to lower emissions. The South Trails Jersey Trails program is one example where the department is expanding non-motorized transportation options, not only promoting sustainability, but also improving the community's health. And next will be, we'll talk a little bit about climate resilience. As we work to reduce emissions, we also need to ensure our transportation infrastructure can withstand the increasing impacts of climate change. NJDOT has been incorporating climate resilience into its planning and design to protect New Jersey's transportation network from extreme weather events. The department continues to explore new materials as well as adjustments to materials to meet the department's goals to reduce emissions. NJDOT also aims to extend the lifespan of roadways, reducing maintenance needs associated with carbon emissions. Asphalt with regards to pavement resilience. NJDOT is exploring new materials for road construction, which Robert Blight, our executive manager of the pavement unit, will further discuss. And greater use of recycled asphalt in various asphalt mixes, meeting the recently passed legislation to incorporate higher percentages of reclaimed asphalt, commonly known as RAP. NJDOT with regards to resilient bridge design. The department is looking at ways to address the structures and continue to exceed and produce resilient designs. One of our outstanding projects completed recently was Route 37 Mathis Bridge rehabilitation. This bridge, which crosses Barnegat Bay, was upgraded to be more resilient to storms and flooding, elevating the roadway, improving drainage systems, stronger materials used to protect the structure from storm surges, rising sea levels, which are becoming more frequent along the New Jersey coastline. We have many flood mitigation programs ongoing, one of which is the Route 29 Cass Street project, which we are constructing an interlocking drilled shaft pile wall to diminish flooding along Route 29. And additionally, the land behind this area will be a park, so we will create more green spaces. The department continues to work on various public transit options, modernizing existing infrastructure, increasing the electric vehicle traffic. This forward-thinking approach ensures that New Jersey Department of Transportation systems will be both sustainable and resilient. Integrating long-term planning. Sustainability isn't just about short-term fixes. It requires long-term planning. NJDOT has integrated sustainability into broader transportation planning processes, considering not just for today's, but the future needs of the state of New Jersey. Collaboration and policy alignment. None of these efforts happen in a vacuum. New Jersey DOT works closely with various states and federal agencies to align its projects with broader sustainability, climate resilient goals. Programs like New Jersey's Global Warming Response Act and the Resilient NJ Initiative guide New Jersey NJDOT work in setting clear target goals for carbon reduction and resilience. Through our partnership with local governments and other transportation agencies, NJDOT ensures sustainability is embedded in every aspect of our transportation planning, from bike lanes to electric buses to resilient bridges and highways. In conclusion, our role as civil engineers is to ensure that transportation infrastructure we build today is ready for the challenges of tomorrow. NJDOT's efforts in carbon reduction and climate resilience shows that it's possible to make meaningful progress towards sustainability while maintaining the high quality and efficient infrastructure. By prioritizing these pathways, we help create a transportation system that is better for both the people and the planet. I'd like to thank everybody.
Thank you, Alex. Our second panelist is Robert Blight, Executive Manager of Pavement and Drainage Management and Technology Bureau. His bureau is responsible for developing the annual pavement, drainage, and guide rail programs for the department, as well as designing and assisting with the execution and delivery of the pavement program, which averages approximately $320 million in roadway improvements annually over the last 10 years, including the largest pavement program on record at $469 million in state fiscal year 2024. Let's give a warm welcome to Executive Manager Robert Blight.
Perfect. Good morning, everyone. So, sustainable pavements. What does that mean, right? Basically, the Federal Highway has identified this is a balance between three major areas: economic, environmental, and social impacts, right? What impacts are we having on each of these? One could argue that right now we may be out of balance a bit, right? So, we're always striving for sustainability. Sustainability is something that may or may not be achieved 100%, right? But we should be striving for it all the time. There are plenty of benefits: reduced pavement life cycle costs, reduction in greenhouse gases, improved quality of life and safety, right? These are very important. There's areas that have been identified, or stages of a pavement life cycle, where each of these areas is an opportunity, from materials production, design, construction, use phase, maintenance and preservation, which in and of itself is sustainable, right? And then the end of life of a pavement. So instead of speaking at you about these things, I figure I would give you a real-world example of a project that we completed in New Jersey a few years back. This is a perfect example of a sustainable pavement, right? So what we have here is an old composite pavement through central New Jersey, Ocean and Burlington County. If some of you don't know, a composite pavement was an originally built concrete pavement in the 1920s, 10-foot wide slab lanes in each direction, overlaid over time with asphalt because the condition of the concrete became poor. The shoulders, original shoulders, were sand and gravel. Those were overlaid with asphalt. And now some of these highways have become maintenance headaches, because if any of you have driven this to the shore, thump, 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 thump is the normal, right? So we would resurface this roadway every 5 to 6 years, and every 5 to 6 years the joints would start to blow up. The longitudinal joint in the right wheel path in each direction would start to come apart because they're dissimilar materials. On the inside, you have asphalt over concrete. On the outside, you have asphalt over sand and gravel. That is a major point of failure on these types of pavements, right? So maintenance headaches. So what did we do? Here we go. We removed the overlay on the concrete. We rubbleized the concrete in place, which is an in-place recycling method, right? You break it up, destroy the slab action. Essentially, it's a very strong aggregate base. Here's a shot of that. The rubbleizer ahead of a what they call a Z-grid roller, which crushes the fine particles or the larger particles at the surface, creating a nice strong base, and then the whole thing is compacted and we get it ready for paving. This is a shot of that after it's rubbleized. On the outside, where we have thin asphalt over sand and gravel, we recycled this in place with full depth reclamation. Full depth reclamation, basically you're grinding up the thin asphalt and the underlying sand and gravel base. You're adding a stabilizing agent to that material. You're compacting it, and now you have a very firm base to pave on. When everything is done, Rubbleized is done, full depth reclamation is done, we tack coat it, right? And we get it ready for paving. The material being paved over this particular pavement was a bottom-rich base course, was specially designed to be paved at a thinner lift, right? But still meet the performance requirements, crack resistance and rut resistance. So we were able to reduce the section that went over top of this pavement by about 2 inches. If we were to use standard base course, the overlay would have been 7 inches. So this particular material went down 3 inches thick as a minimum, up to about 5 inches thick. On the surface, a stone matrix asphalt, which is a very strong surface course. It performs much better than our standard HMA course. As you can see from the chart on the right, we've done analysis of these materials compared to our standard hot mix asphalt, and we get much better long-term performance. So in this particular project, as an example, we hit all of these different stages or opportunities. We've reduced new virgin materials by 60%. We created a long life, high-performing pavement. From the construction standpoint, construction processes reduced by 60%, and these are just rough numbers. Use phase, the pavement's going to stay smoother, longer, and perform longer by reducing the maintenance cycles, right? And again, as far as the end of life, we reused a good portion of the pavement in place. And that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Robert. Didn't have to give him the end sign, which is good. Our next panelist is Krishna Tripathi, Project Manager Specialist 3, Division of Project Management. She manages over 15 transportation infrastructure improvement projects in various phases, including concept development, preliminary engineering, final design, and construction. Please give a warm welcome to Project Manager Krishna Tripathi.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Today, I'm going to talk about how adoption and implementation of electric vehicle infrastructure program can be one of the ways towards the pathway of sustainability. Joint Office of Energy and Infrastructure Program is a critical component in the implementation of bipartisan infrastructure law and in providing the support to deploy network of electric vehicle chargers nationwide. This program is administered by Federal Highway, and the funds are designated to each state, and Federal Highway Division offices manage these funds. New Jersey DOT is implementing this program using these federal funds. Through this program, our goal is to eliminate the range anxiety along the national highways. One of the ways we can do this is by providing direct current fast chargers at least at every 50 miles at interval on interstate highways. Strategical development of EV charging infrastructure will provide reliable, accessible, equitable, and convenient EV chargers. As part of the implementation of EV infrastructure program, we at DOT has developed a contract in which we have identified 19 alternate fuel corridors on New Jersey's 10 interstate highways to install direct current fast chargers. This will accommodate the roadway users in all directions of travel. Equitable access to the EV chargers is a major consideration while developing this project. Our goal is to install EV chargers at 8 out of 19 alternate fuel corridor locations in disadvantaged and overburdened communities. Community engagement with the local communities and municipalities in each location is a requirement set for the contractors. And our goal behind is this effort is to promote EV adoption. Through this EV community outreach efforts, we want to just emphasize on the benefits of EVs, opportunities offered by the EVSE development, and overall provide the customer experience. As I mentioned, we are currently developing a program which project has already been advertised. And we anticipate to award this Navy project by fall of this year. Once this project will be awarded, 2 years of design and installation of charging station will begin. In that period, it is contractor's responsibility to identify a site that meets the NEPA requirement, utility readiness, and the site host agreement is also a major factor that has to be made between contractor and the property owner. Once the installation of this charging station will be completed, 5 years of operation and maintenance period will kick in. During this operation period, 97% annual uptime requirement is set and will be achieved and reported quarterly. Outreach and workforce development plans will be employed during this operation period. Cybersecurity and physical security is at each DCFC charging station is also very critical aspect that we are implementing over here and will be maintained as well. For this contract, we have developed a very innovative contracting method with Federal Highway. So it is our responsibility to prepare a report periodically to Federal Highway to provide the progress made on our project. Other than these Navy project, DOT supports other EV adoption efforts. One of them is the electric vehicle charger reliability and accessibility accelerator grant, through which we help address 247 ports in broken non-operational chargers, which are noted all over in New Jersey. Throughout these efforts, we always continue our coordination with many stakeholders throughout the state of New Jersey. That includes Team New Jersey, DEP, Bureau of Public Utilities, Economic Development Team, Federal Highway, Joint Office, and many others. Thank you.
Thank you, Krishna. Our fourth panelist is Moab Hussain, Supervising Engineer, Bureau of Structural Design and Geotechnical Engineering. Moab oversees more than 275 transportation projects totaling over $5.4 billion. His expertise spans bridge rehabilitation, roadway widening, railroads, tunnels, dams, culverts, and sign structures. Let's give a warm welcome to Supervising Engineer Moab Hussain.
Okay. Morning. So I was so excited to present today about sustainability that I started with 40 slides and I got yelled at to bring it down. So I'll be try to be quick and commit to the 5 minutes. So as Rob Wright mentioned, that sustainability has many different components: environmental, economic, and social. And at the DOT, there's have been a big shift in culture, for the last, 6 years, in terms of trying to adjust and think about not just economics, also, the social and environmental impacts. So I want to start here with just explaining, the sustainability tree, which is basically, sustainability encompasses resilience. It does encompass climate change and encompass disaster reduction, risk reduction. So from planning perspective, our unit, we presented a model called geotechnical asset management. With the help of Federal Highway, we were able to obtain $7 million to initiate this program through the State and Planning and Research Funds. And this program focuses on two main aspects. One is physical abstracts, physical data, And the second is non-physical data, which is soil data, lab testing, things like that. So we don't have to basically be more intrusive to the environment than we have to. So this is just an example of some of the data we got from our system. Here shows some of the GPR data from Route 8015 project, and this shows one of the walls we have scanned for Route 21 project. So this helps us guide the state investment decisions for to ensure that we have a sustainable and resilient system for the department. One of the other components that I think one of my colleagues will talk about more is the environmental product declaration, EPD. So we decided this came as a program through Everyday Count Initiative 7, which provides us a clear benchmark for basically element-based or component-based. And the way we look at this declaration is just like you have a nutrition label on your yogurt or your milk. This is how the same system would be applied for infrastructure. So we have, for example, drill shafts or micropiles or bridge rehab. We would have basically a product declaration similar to that. And it tells us to help our engineers and project management guide the design. So this is based on LCA. So we look at not just the short term, we also look at the long term aspects of the product and the element. That will help us promote environmental improvements for the systems we're providing, and also help us support decision making with environmental data. And also identify key areas that we are weak on to improve. Like, for example, if we have a lot of impacts for global potential for concrete, then we guide the research into that aspect to help us support that. One of the other things is I want to mention is related to design is the bridge rehab versus bridge replacements. Also, there has been a big change in culture through the last 10 years since I've been at the department. Is we always used to replace bridges. That's the first thing that we have as a guide for designers to do, is just full replacement. But more and more we found that it's more resilient and more sustainable to rehab these structures and have less impact for traffic, as well as the neighboring communities and the environment. So these are just two examples. This is 295 on the left side, and this is one of our famous bridges, Pulaski Skyway, which we did ultra high performance concrete, which will last almost forever. And then we have these lightweight concrete panels that we installed to ensure that the weight is light enough to give us the right seismic capacity that we need in the future. In terms of preservation, the goal here is to try to increase the surface life of the structures, and by doing routine and periodical maintenance, working with our maintenance staff and operations, we are focusing on trying to increase the lifespan of the bridges and structures from the typical 100-year lifespan, that's what we designed to even more than 120 to 150, just because we're focusing on the maintenance as well as the design elements. One of the other key components is pipes. So operations under Andrew Sennard started a program to inspect pipes and find out the condition of those pipes, right? So one of the key elements that we also try to implement is lining these pipes to survive even longer. Ultra high performance overlays is one of the key components that there's a presentation, I think, in the afternoon, existing foundation, and we rehab these foundation to give us a more seismic retrofit. Corrosion resistance, so we have stainless steel and a fiberglass, which will, as I mentioned, give us the lifetime we need. One of the other things we have initiated as a department, and we have been the pioneer implementing this technology 7 years ago, was lightweight aggregate, which gives us less material and less weight, gives us also a recyclable material that's completely made from 100% recycled glass. One of the other things I want to mention is lightweight concrete. This is an example of how much savings we can use from a study that we did for a bridge in North Jersey that relates to lightweight concrete. Here you can see how much savings that we can get just from using a different material from regular concrete versus lightweight concrete. And that can give us a lot of more constructability related benefits like beam length, reduction of loads, increase of load radius, capacity for cranes and things like that. One of the other things we also implemented because we're a very busy state is accelerated bridge construction. ABC is one of the key components that we have been using for the last decade or so. So this concludes my slides. I apologize I went fast. I just wanted to cover as much as possible. Thank you.
Thank you, Moab. You do cover you have a lot of responsibilities, a lot of different things. Our next panelist is Sushant Darji, Principal Engineer, Planning Bureau Statewide Strategies. Sushant is actively involved in implementing the carbon reduction plan and managing the congestion mitigation and air quality program. His work focuses on developing sustainable transportation strategies that reduce carbon emissions and improve air quality across New Jersey. Please give a warm welcome to Principal Engineer Sushant Darji.
Hello, everyone. Good morning. Okay, so today I'm going to presenting about the focusing on two programs, which is like federally funded, and our program is mainly like our keynote speaker and the Jim also mentioned about the carbon reduction program. So I'm going to just give a brief on the carbon reduction program and the congestion mitigation and the air quality, which is called CMAQ program. And our goal is like emphasizing, by using this program, our goal is like emphasizing NJDOT's commitment and sustainability and the practice and the innovation in achieving decarbonization. So let's start with the carbon reduction program. So in the carbon reduction program, this is like we developed over the last year to come up with the 5 key strategies, which is first one is to promote electric and zero emission vehicles, which includes like encouraging a shift to a cleaner fuels, which encouraging like more EV cars and alternative fuel vehicles. Second one is the use of mass transit and active modes, which includes the reducing reliance on a single occupancy vehicles, so we can promote more public transit. Third one is support efficient roadway operations, which includes enhancing traffic flow and minimizing delays. Fourth one include the incorporate efficient construction and maintenance, which includes the utilizing recycled materials and best practices, the one that Rob mentioned about the recycled material of the asphalt, rubberized asphalt, and the glass foam aggregates. And the fifth one is enable innovation solutions, which includes exploring new technologies and sustainable materials. So we developed this strategy last year, and then we are working on the implementation plan with the collaborating with the internal divisions as well as the external agencies, which includes MPOs, Federal Highway, NJ Transit, and the port authorities. And so we can incorporating all their comments, and then we can effectively implement these strategies so we can come up with a better plan. So this is like for the think of us as a like eco-friendly GPS, and we like recalculating our route to the cleaner tomorrow. So let's move forward to the CMAQ. CMAQ is like a fitness tracker for the air quality, and it's like keeping those emissions in check. And for the CMAQ, I can give the brief, which is like the program provides flexible funding for transportation projects that improves air quality and the reduce congestion in non-attainment areas. So non-attainment areas, those are like areas where the air quality standards is not matching with the standards provided by the federal. So this program gives like funding to the different categories of the projects. I can highlight like 4 of them. The first one is active transportation, which is mainly focused on the bike ped infrastructure and the shared mobility. Second one is the traffic management, which includes the ITS, Intelligence Transportation System, and the congestion relief projects. Third one is infrastructure modernization, which is like retrofit projects and the rail car replacements. And the fourth one is the port electrification, which is initiatives to reduce emissions at the ports by electrifying ferries and the other vehicles. So this program also like has like something. So it should be like a breath of fresh air. It should be with the norms. So we have come up with federal has like goals, and we have come up with the 2 years and 4 years targets for the CMEC programs involving like different performance measures, which is carbon monoxide, NOx, volatile organic compounds, and PM2, which is particulate matter 2.5 emissions, along with peak hour excessive delayed and the percent of non-single occupancy vehicles. So these are performance measures, and based on these performance measures, we're gonna prioritize and projects and give the fundings to different projects. So together towards a sustainable tomorrow, we can move forward with mainly 2 steps. The first one is implementation with the active engagement. So implementation, for the implementation, NJDOT is dedicated to crafting a comprehensive plan for effectively implementing our decarbonization strategies. And for the active engagement, we are building strong collaborations internally and external agencies to ensure smooth execution of our goals. So at the end, join us in shifting gears towards sustainability. After all, every smile saved is a smile earned. Thank you.
Thank you, Sushant. Our final panelist is Giri Venkatila, Innovation Officer, Bureau of Research, Innovation, and Information Transfer. Dr. Venkatila manages a variety of research and innovation projects and programs. He is also the NJDOT Transportation Pooled Fund Program Manager and the lead for NJDOT LCTM Grant Program. With over 14 years of experience in transportation research and innovation, he has a strong background in both research, execution, and administration. Please give a warm welcome to Innovation Officer, Dr. Giri Venkatila.
Thank you, Dave. You put me in a hard spot. I need to finish it rapid, right? Quickly, right? Yeah, rapid. Good morning, everyone. My name is Giri Venkatila. I'm the Innovation Officer at BRIT, Bureau of Innovation, Bureau of Research Innovation and Information Transfer. It's been great pleasure working with the panel here. So far you have seen many tools and technologies are implemented on our roadways. This is where everything starts, with the research idea and innovation idea. That's where we are here. Like BRIT, we oversee many research projects in entire our DOT units. And we have seen rise in sustainable research projects recently. For example, we concluded a research project on energy harvesting. So we have seen on our roadways how we can harvest the energy using solar panels and noise walls, and also like piezoelectric sensors, how these bridge movements or vehicle movements, we can capture the energy. It's pretty fascinating research. So we have final reports, everything on our website. Please, check those reports if you need more information. And also we have porous concrete. We conduct lab studies, and we take the lab studies towards the actual implementation. We also implemented the porous concrete sidewalks, and also we benchmark the advanced concrete materials for NJDOT infrastructure. So that give us the, we can pick stronger materials, better materials for durability of our infrastructure. And we are also continuously have many research projects on sustainability. So please check out our website, Tech Transfer website, for more details of these projects. Along with the projects, we have many programs that can, that can have sustainability research and innovations. For example, NJDOT R&I program, we have research and innovation program where, as our commissioner mentioned, your idea is very valuable to grow it. So this is where you can send us your ideas and our innovation ideas. We make sure that we will work on those ideas. And also, Brett administer the NJDOT STIC network. STIC stands for State Transportation Innovation Council. Through this network, we promote EDC, FSWA EDC initiatives. EDC means everyday counts. So every 2 years, FSWA brings us the innovation. So we make sure that our department, we implement seamlessly through this process. And recently, we applied for LCTM grant program, which we are very interested, and we think that this program will really help us to promote low carbon transportation materials into our infrastructure seamlessly. We can develop some frameworks, we can develop some contractual languages. So there's a lot of things we can have with this LCTM grant program. And finally, we have NJ Tech Transfer Program, where we are promoting all the technology tools regarding sustainability or regarding all other areas of the transportation. So please use these resources for promoting sustainability and overall transportation efficiency for us. And finally, I would like to talk about the funding availability. So we have state and federal funding for our research program, and we extend our arms for helping other units to acquire other federal grants in research and innovation areas, especially STIC grant programs and AMR programs and AID demo programs and other USDOT grants. So we are helping them out to secure or administer innovation or other projects related to these grants. And we also administer the Transportation Pool Fund Program, which is a very great program where our SMEs, our state SMEs, can work with other state DOT SMEs using this program and come to a common conclusion. We see that sustainability is a great topic, where all the states can come together and have a great pool fund projects. So please use this program also. And finally, as our Jim said, R&D, right? Rip off and deploy. So we have seen like many research projects from NCHRP, ASTO. They are coming on our emails, right? So if you think that any project that suits for your unit, and we are here to help you to implement as a pilot for your unit, so please use that resource also from us. So with that, I would like to conclude. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, Gary. You didn't save us, but you did a very good job. I'm now going to ask the panel a series of transportation sustainability questions. Number one, what do you see as sustainability and/or resilience priorities or advancements in the next 25 years of NJDOT activities? Alex.
Yeah, one key.
Take the mic. Bring it right up to your face.
Oh, gotta bring it that close? Yeah. Is it on? Oh, I have no idea. Okay. Yeah, one key advancement will be implementation of green infrastructure. It's not on.
It's on. You just got
It's
to be
on.
close to it. Almost kiss it.
I'm not used to this stuff. I'm a construction guy. I'm out in the field, and that's what I used to do. One key advancement will be implementation of green infrastructure, such as permeable pavements, bioswales to manage stormwater and mitigate flood risks. We'll be shifting towards the use of more low-carbon sustainable materials in construction. The electrification of public transit and state vehicles will be centrally important, and along with our NEVI and EV programs. Additionally, we will be looking at adaptive traffic signals for safety and safety of both the pedestrians and motoring public. These measures will ensure that New Jersey transportation system remains effective, safe, sustainable in the face of environmental challenges.
Thank you. Anyone else want to tackle that at all? All right.
You hear me okay? All right,
Perfect.
good. So I think from my perspective, being the lead in pavement, maintenance and preservation have to be at the forefront of what we do because, that is the heart of sustainability for our highway infrastructure is to maintain it and perform preventive treatments to extend the life of the pavement. In addition to that, building smooth, long-lasting pavements. One of the things, and we've been at this a long time from a pavement perspective, and we're doing a lot of good things, but we haven't measured it very well. We haven't measured the effects of these things, and that's one of the things that Federal Highway is pushing us now to do, is to start measuring these things and, show the public what you can do with these treatments to reduce carbon emissions, right?
Okay, thank you. Question number 2. How can emerging technologies transform and enhance sustainable practices within the transportation industry? Specifically, what innovations hold the most promise for driving significant environmental and economic benefits in this sector? Who would like to tackle that?
I'll give it another shot. I think what you're going to start to see is, again, our big thing is electric vehicles, some autonomous vehicles, which will, begin to reduce our carbon emissions in New Jersey. New Jersey is the most densely populated state in the country. We have a lot of lane miles. We are, we have a big port area. So some of these autonomous vehicles and reducing fuel consumption will help us with the greenhouse gas. Smart infrastructure, too. We're going to start seeing a lot more smart infrastructure. We have adaptive traffic signal programs that are out there right now, both that we have already constructed and will be constructing. These have long-term effects and will help to reduce cost. And again, part of also asphalt. We are looking at various types of asphalt, including wrap, that will help, again, with our carbon footprint.
Outstanding. Thank you very much. Okay, Moab?
So concrete is the most used material after water, right? So I think one of the kind of key things for these technologies is trying to focus on, as Giri mentioned, the low carbon initiatives to reduce the environmental footprints. I think that's kind of the key component for us, especially in the infrastructure world. We're building a lot of bridges and walls and culverts around the state, and all this money coming in, we have to kind of counteract that effect of concrete. So, thanks.
Okay, thank you, Mohab. Gary?
Yes. Regarding emerging topics, I think AI, artificial intelligence, I think that's going to come a big weight on us in near future. I think it has a great potential to analyze the data and predictive maintenance and see the sustainable practices, quickly enhance the knowledge. It has a great potential for us, I think, going forward. And also we have to see how the new things that we are going to adopt in our existing systems, the formats, the formalities, the testing protocols, I think we need to change or we need to adapt to the, as the quick pace as R&I is increasing in nowadays. That's my point.
I can add Giri's answer. We have ongoing drone technology program, which can help for the inspection of the bridges and reduce the potential lane closures and the traffic management. So that will help us for the bridge inspection and other infrastructure inspections programs. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Let's go on to question number 3, our final question. So I want to get Krishna involved in here. How can NJDOT enhance collaboration with local, state, and federal agencies to integrate sustainable practices into transportation planning and infrastructure development? And what specific framework or partnerships do we envision to facilitate this integration? Krishna.
Sure. So as I explained in my presentation, we have had very tremendous coordination with many stakeholders during the development of Navy contract. As I explained, we have coordinated with Federal Highway Local Offices, Joint Office of Energy and Transportation, Team New Jersey, that includes Bureau of Public Utility, DEP, Economic Development Authority, as well as we have coordinated with New Jersey Turnpike Authority, as well as South Jersey Transportation Authority's roadway unit, just to collaborate to make sure that our 19 alternate fuel corridors are not in conflict with anywhere else. As we move forward with the installation of the charging station and operation period begin, we are also implementing a coordination with local offices as part of the community outreach, as well as during this operation period, EV charging operators are required to participate in the emergency action drills with the first responders to practice the emergency response and foster the collaboration with local, state, and the federal agencies.
Okay, thank you very much. In the interest of time, we are going to ask one, it's got to be a good one good question to our panelists. So at this time, would anyone like to ask one good question? Please raise, I mean a good one, because we only have time for one. Anybody would like to raise their hand of any of these panelists, please? Is lunch more important? There we go. I thought lunch was taking precedence, but this gentleman here has a question.
I don't know if this is really like a good question.
Oh, geez.
I was talking to a friend yesterday who I hadn't seen in a while, and he was talking about how he's like a bridge inspector. They do like back calculations for carbon impacts, I guess for like the steel manufacturing, concrete manufacturing. And you guys brought it up, so I was wondering what, for like consumers or roadway users, what that, nutrition facts does for us if we can't really choose what roads we drive on, or like what bridges we use.
Panelists?
That's a tough question. So
That's a good question.
it is a good question. So one of the things we're trying to establish is the baseline, right? Figure out what is our current consumption of carbon or other greenhouse emissions, right? That's the first start, right? That's why we're starting these baseline systems to establish that. And that from that point on, we would know where are we weak and where is the areas that we need to focus on to improve that. And that's basically where we start.
So it's not for us as drivers, it's for us as designers and stuff.
Very good point. So we are, as a department, we're trying to be transparent, right? That's one of the initiatives we as a department trying to do is have this information online. So you as a user understand what goes into these systems and infrastructures.
So is there like a program to go back in time and do this for projects that have already happened, or is this going to be for projects that are like in
That's going to be in the
development
future. That's the focus.
Okay.
I'll just jump in and add to that. So you kind of asked the question is how does this benefit you as a motorist, right? Well, I'll give you a perfect example. Roadways, we require a certain level of smoothness. If we didn't have those performance-based specifications and you're driving on rough roads, you're using more fuel. That's a simple, perfect example. So that means something directly to you, right? You don't want to use all your fuel up on a rough road. You want to ride on smooth roads, and you want them to last long. So.
About like steel design and like when we are building the bridges, like if I was a motorist and I say like, I'd rather take, like the Delaware Memorial Bridge instead of the Tacony Bridge or something, I could look up online and say like, well, the development of this bridge, has like a net like a less net carbon impact, or like a lower net like environmental impact than the Tacony Bridge, for example. So I'd opt to choose to take that one. Like, I'm just trying to wonder, because like the implication was that it would be like we're going to the grocery store, we're choosing what we want to use, what infrastructure we want to use, but it isn't really for that. It's for like for us in the future to know what can be reduced as like designers.
I think as a consumer, you get the benefit of it, but those labels, those kind of nutritional labels, are for the engineers to determine what's the best option. When they look at it from a life cycle assessment and a life cycle cost analysis, right, that's going to tell them what the best alternatives are.
So we'd like really see the benefits of this like a couple maintenance cycles down the line instead of like immediately. If we're like getting the data right now, you know, we'd see this like, you know, like 20, or I guess 150 years after, you know, because the life cycle of a bridge is like 150 years now. So, you know, I guess like in a couple of, like 100 years or something, we would know like this is, you know, a problem that we can address based on this analysis that we have right now.
Okay, that's all we have time for.
Sorry.
All right. I would like to thank the very qualified Department of Transportation leaders on our panel today for sharing their intimate knowledge and expertise regarding their commitment to creating pathways to sustainability. Let's give them a round of applause. If you have any further questions for the panelists, their contact information is listed here on the screen. Thank you very much.
Thank you.